Hello everyone. Now we are going to discuss the instrumentation amplifier in the lecture 13, which is the module 5 and unit 2. So here we will be looking into the continuation part of the resistive transducer and how they are connected with a circuit connection made up of op amps. First, look at the circuit. This is the resistor transducer or the bridge what we have studied in unit 1. We studied in the unit 1, we studied different types of a transducer. There you had a Wheatstone bridge here. It's a similar kind of a Wheatstone bridge. So we can see here RC, RB, RA are the standard constant resistance or a standard resistors which have the constant value throughout the process, which are connected to a source there, which is denoted by E. So the difference is here we have a resistance transducer connected to this arm as a RT. This is RT. So these are the RT when it is normally when you don't have any kind of a the changes there, we don't have any kind of a change, some kind of a anything, it might be of input of a pressure, heat, anything, so that time it will be RT. But when there is a change in the resistance in this bridge, so that time is denoted by RT plus delta R. So at present, when here this arm is RT, this is RC, this is RB, and this is RA. So that time we say it as the balance bridge. So that time VA at this terminal and VB at this terminal, which are connected to this op amp, which is in the condition of a non-inverting type, connected here, and VB is connecting to the amplifier A2, which is also a inverting type. So at here we can see it here, the resistance at the output of this amplifier 1 and amplifier 2 is almost equal, that is a R2, which is also set as R1. So that is the connection we need to make, and it is given here. So that time here VA is got from the amplifier output of the VA input to given to the amplifier 1 VA, then VB after giving to the amplifier to amplified is given to the non-inverting side, inverting side. So that time at the output, which is connected via a feedback here, feedback resistance. So that time here the output is VA minus VB. So if it is balanced bridge, if it is a balanced bridge, so that time here VA is and VA minus VB is 0. VA minus VB is 0. This is how we calculate. So what we are doing here, so whatever the voltages are generated here is in terms of minute, in terms of a millivolt or microvolt, depending on our application. So what we are doing, we are amplifying and we are getting it in terms of a V naught. So what is this V naught is connected to any of the devices which we required in terms, like we required the voltage what we have got it here, we want in terms of a in terms of a temperature, or we want to do in terms of any of the physical quantities, might be any kind of a say might be of a weight, might be in terms of a temperature, etc, etc. So this act as the another unit which has to be, the data has to be displayed here. Okay, then now to consider that bridge is unbalanced. RT plus delta R has been got by any of the physical quantity, change in the physical quantity, might be anything. So now what will happen if the condition while building this Wheatstone bridge, RC, RB, RA are equal. that is RC RB RA is almost equal to RT. So it is the balance. So directly it is we are saying RT RC RB RA all are R only. So this is what we have seen. We have seen in the Wheatstone bridge the slightly unbalanced condition. So this is what the condition what we are going to implement. The same principle we will be implementing it here. Okay. So now, so this is what, if you think some pressure has been applied or anything, some RT plus delta R has been got. So that time is an unbalanced thing. So that time the condition VA is not equal to VB. So when this is given to this A1, it is amplified and given here, and VB is amplified and given to here. So that time VA minus VB will have some of value there. So that value has to be considered and converted as per requirement. So this is how we do. But we need to implement some the formulas and the theory. We'll discuss that. So here, when VA is equals to VB or VB is equals to VA, so that is RB into E. So VB is what? RB divided by RB plus RC. The arm like this way we had, this was RC and this was RB, is into whatever the voltage we are getting the supply. E is equals to RA. So we are taking terms across this like this the wind it is. So that time RA plus RT. RT is what? The thing, the arm connected to the upper positive supply of the E. So that time RA divided by RA plus RT into E. So as we know that the balance condition, that is RC divided by RB is equals to RT divided by RA. This is the balance desired condition what we used to measure. Remember what we had done in the Wheatstone bridge. Okay, so this is what when the bridges are balanced. Now when this unbalanced, VA is equals to RAE divided by RA plus RT plus delta R. So that time RT is varied by how much? RT plus delta, and VB remains same, that is RB into E divided by RB plus RC. So that time VAB, that is VA minus VB, is given by VA minus VB. So we have to substitute these values, that is RAE divided by RA plus RT plus delta R minus RB into E divided by RB plus RC. So as we have assumed that RA, RB, RC and RT are always equal to R, substituting it here, so that time VAB is equals to R into E divided by 2R plus delta R minus RE divided by 2R, that is equals to E into R plus 2R plus delta R minus 1 by 2. Then after simplifying this here, so that time we get 2R minus, if we cross multiply here, the LCM which we take, that is minus 2R minus delta R divided by 2 into 2R plus delta R. So that time we can simplify, that is 2R minus 2R get cancelled into delta, that is minus delta R into E divided by 2 into 2R plus delta R. This is what the actual VAP of the differential instrumentation or amplifier transducer bridge, which has connected from the bridge we have calculated. Then what is the gain of this thing? So that is nothing but V0 is equals to VAB into the feedback resistance and the resistance which is connected in output of the VA and VB, as we know that both are same. That is equals to minus delta R into E, so substituting the same thing here, divided by 2 into 2R plus delta R into R divided by R1. So from see this equation we can see that V0 is the function of the change in the resistance, that is what? Delta R of the transducer. So it might be change in the physical quantity which are connected at the output, calibrated in terms of the unit of physical quantity. So this was all about the basic transducer bridge. So now we are going to implement the to see or the implementation of this bridge to measure the thermometer, the temperature, and also the weight scale. So here we are going to discuss the two applications there. And here only the main concept is the circuit is same. So just we need to implement that. So now first we are going to consider the temperature indicators using thermistor. So what is this thermistor? Is a relative passive type of a temperature resistance transducer, as we discussed in the earlier videos. And they are usually a basic semiconductor say. So usually a thermistor almost resembles a conventional resistor, and it is also a two-terminal device in the same as the property of the resistance, and usually operated and installed like same as thing. But the what is the difference is the negative temperature coefficient and the positive temperature coefficient. And most of the thermistor exhibits the NTC, as we are discussing it in the NTC. What is NTC? It's a resistance and the temperature are inversely proportional, and PTC is there directly proportional. So that's the one concept we need to think. NTC always have a negative inverse. They always depend the on the temperature coefficient. So that we have to think that most of the things are the NTC there, and always expressed in the terms of a ohms per degree Celsius. Since it is a thermally sensitive resistor, it has a high temperature coefficient of a resistance. As I said, we are going to measure the temperature there, and the best one is the thermistors only. Okay, and usually they are usually suitable for the temperature measurement and the control. So if the bridge what we have discussed in the basic in the earlier slides there, so use in the thermistor, the whatever the circuit has measured the temperature is to be calibrated in terms of degrees Celsius and the Fahrenheit. Okay, so what we are doing, we are trying to see the whatever the temperature varied, the thermistor also changes, so it causes what the change in the balance there. So it becomes unbalanced bridge. So it produces a deflection, unbalancedness is achieved, so that whatever the voltage has been gained or got at the VA and VB is given to the differential instrumentation amplifier bridge. So then calibrated, that is given to the amplifier, amplified, and then given to the differential amplifier state, and we got the difference, and we are going to the whatever the device, and we have displaying it the desired temperature. Usually the meter movement depends on the amount of unbalance in the bridge, which is caused by the change in the value of the thermistor, the resistance delta R. So that delta R can be of the thermistor can be determined as the temperature coefficient of the resistance minus into the final temperature minus the reference temperature. So whatever was the at the initial, and then the final temperature. So that the factors we need to be consider, or the two readings they have to be at, so that we can get the delta R. So if this meter of the circuit has been replaced by the relay, and if the output of the differential instrumentation amplifier transducer bridge drives the relay that controls the current in the heat generating circuit, a temperature control can be formed. So just we are replacing it by the relay. We are replacing it by the relay in place of a meter. So it acts as a controlling device. A temperature control device can be formed. How? Just the change in the temperature the causes a voltage deflection, so that time the relay switch can be moved in the either direction, and the to act as a switch, open switch and a closed switch. So that we have to done with respect to the change in the temperature, increase in the temperature, voltage increases, so change the position. And a properly designed circuit should energize a relay when the temperature of the thermistor drops below a desired value, causing the heater unit to turn on. So that's the thing. So proper unit has to be there, or a circuit has to be designed to energize the relay. because as the thermic temperature of the thermistor drops below a desired value, we have to make the heater unit to turn on. Then one application is over. Next is the analog weight scale. So normally you have seen it in your the weight weighing scale machines and all. So that's the same principle here, but we are implementing another logic it here. The circuit is same, but we have modified by connecting a strain gauges. So another the strain gauge topic we have discussed it in your earlier videos. So the same thing what we have done, we are just going into a little further what we have done in the unit 1, we are just implementing there. Okay, here strain gauges has been connected in the all the four arms here. So you can see RT1, RT4, RT3, RT2. But remember one thing, RT4 and RT1 are like act as a parallel here, RT3 and RT1 as a one set there. So what is happening if you apply a weight here RT4 and RT2, the elongation is done. So that time RT3 and RT2 goes for a compression. If these two sides go for a elongation, RT4 and RT2 go for compression. So that's the logic we'll be implementing here. So what is the condition when there is a no force or no extra force has been applied? So that time RT1 plus RT2 plus RT3 plus RT4 is equal to R, and the output voltage of the weight scale is 0. And output voltage of the weight scale is 0. Suppose a weight scale has been applied on the scalp performer and RT1 and RT3 is increases in the resistance. Then RT2 and RT4 decreases in resistance by the same value of delta R, and the bridge is unbalanced. Then by giving an unbalanced output voltage, this balanced voltage VAB is given by VAB is equals to E into delta R by R, where E is the excitation voltage of the bridge and R is equals to RT1 is equals to RT2 is equals to RT3 and RT4 are unstrained gauge resistance, and delta R is the change in the gauge resistance. So when we apply that term change in the gauge resistance, when it is not applied it's a unstrained gauge resistance. And also then this bridge is amplifies the voltage VAB giving a deflection in the meter moment. So it is amplified and given to that formula. That is how V0 is equals to E into delta R divided by R into RF divided by R1. The gain of the amplifier is selected depending on the sensitivity of the strain gauge and on the full scale deflection requirements of the meter. The meter can also be calibrated in terms of grams or kilograms. So what we have done, depending on the sensitivity of the strain gauge, the amplifier is selected. So gain amplifier also is gain of the amplifier also has been increased. So depending on the sensitivity factors there. For better accuracy and resolution, a micro-based digital weight scale may be constructed. Digital weight scale, what we see in the normal days, when we go for some temples and shops and all, they usually have a ₹1 coin you put, and that time you get the weight scale. Such a scale is more complex and expensive than the analog scale. Analog scales you might get around 200-300 rupees or maximum of 500 rupees. Also digital scale also been available if you go into the some of our shopping e-commerce sites. So that time also you can get around 600 to 800. I don't know how much it is feasible. So depending on the quality there. Nowadays it has been reduced, the rates everything has been reduced because due to the all the new technologies, compression of the circuits, everything has been carried out. Okay, and these are the HS Kelsey is the reference textbook for this topics. The other two are the additional reference. So this is HS Kelsey as per VTU syllabus. Thank you.